What is up, guys? I'm Pharrell, aka the Pad Technician, and today I'll be doing a review on the Ultimatum boxing focus paddles. Shout out to Ultimatum, guys. They're a boxing company based up in Russia. I highly recommend you go check them out. Now on to the good, shall we? As always, guys, Ultimatum always impress me with their latest gear, and this is the new line that they've dropped. It's been out for quite some time now. I'm a skeptical one when it comes to paddles due to the fact that I've never found anything comfortable and to my liking. However, since using these bad boys, I do not want to go anywhere else. Now, I'm going to come in closer for you guys to see the materials and the quality of this. In my opinion, had I said previously with the shield, I think this is a very premium quality. You can see, but more so you can feel the quality. It's very soft, easy to clean material. Got the target on both sides. The stitching itself is very clean, and obviously the range itself is very eye-catching. Now, in terms of the handle, that is the one thing a lot of people tend to ask. That's where you will now be holding that, obviously 100% of the time. Now, I don't have the biggest hand, I don't have the smallest hand. However, I find this quite easy to fingertip, wrap my hands around. Grip, I feel is very, very comfortable. I don't get any cramping within my hand. So I'm quite happy with the grip. Now, what I love is the elasticity that they've gone with as the strap that goes around the wrist, which is a big, big plus because it makes it quite comfortable now to have that around your wrist and having that flexibility too. So if you do want to drop down or explain something, it's easy to bring back up, as with other brands have used the same material as the pad, which means there's no slack and it tends to rub on the back of the hand, which can be quite uncomfortable. Now, in terms of the size itself, it is smaller than some other paddles. Now, they all come in different sizes. However, the ones I've used previously have a longer handle and more of a floppier head, and I'm not really comfortable with that. But the size of this is perfect for me. Now, the reason I love the size is not only because it's smaller, but it means more control of the paddle itself. And that is a big, big plus. Obviously, obviously it would be lighter, but again, some materials that are used with certain padding can mean it a little bit more heavier, but this paddle right here is extremely light, and again, makes it easier for my job. Now, the one thing that stood out, or that made the review for what it is for me, was the way they've designed the whole paddle. Now, with other brands or other paddles you may have used, or that I've definitely used in the past, the center has a more flexible area, which means when the paddle hits the target, the head moves back. And I don't find that comfortable as someone holding, and I definitely don't find that comfortable as someone punching. Because if you were to do a double jab, for example, on the first one, the head would go back, which means on the second jab, I have to hit back harder. And I don't find that it's just not something that I really like to work with. I want something that's all one. Now, due to the fact that you're holding a paddle now and not a focus mitt, your control is no longer in the palm of your hand, it's down lower, which means the area of contact is at a different position. And that, as much as it may seem strange to say, it does make a very big difference when you're holding paddles. And so for me, that was the biggest thing right there. Now, due to the fact that the way they've designed it, which I'll go a little bit more into detail, is that the handle that meets the head is one pad. There's nothing in the center. There's nothing that separates them. There's no flexibility or mobility. It's just one pad, and it makes it stiff. Stiff in a good way, not stiff in a bad way. Now, the padding itself is firm. It's, like I said, the exterior is soft, very clean, but the interior padding is stiff, and it needs to be stiff, because if it's too soft, it means the contact of the punch is not going to land well. Now, as you would have seen in the previous video, also with one of my boxes, I've got him punching harder than usual, and this paddle can take that impact. So if you do have someone that wants to punch a bit harder than you generally would with your paddles, I can comfortably say these paddles will take that sort of impact, which is a big, big plus. Now, with saying that, some people use their paddles for different things. I like it for tagging, more quicker response drills, or just having a bit of a warm-up or flow. I do tend to always stick back to my focus mitts, as that's where I find my comfortability and control is. But then again, some people like this for speed, and there is nothing wrong. You use your pads the way you use them as a coach. There is no right or wrong. But if you are a boxing enthusiast or a coach or a trainer, and you are looking for something that's a bit smaller, that is unique, that is different, that has that premium quality within the design and the materials, but more so, you want a stiff pad that you know there's nothing imbalancing it in the center or has that mobility, I highly recommend the Ultimatum Focus Paddle. I think it is I think it's a game changer for myself. Like I said, I've never found something that I've been comfortable to use, and this answers all of my questions, and I can use it in every way that I would use similar to my focus mitts. So I think a lot of people look at paddles and they think, oh, they're just for speed, and that may be the case for the way they train their clients or fighters. But for myself, I do want my boxers with a bit of oomph behind their punches. I want to be able to know, yep, I can hit back harder, and therefore it's going to take that impact. Also, just diving into it deeper, that when you do use paddles, it's not as easy as just going really light. Because now the handle is in the hand's control and there's nothing behind the head of the paddle, it means now you do have to hit back harder than usual. You can't just go like that and expect that the contact is going to land fine. There's nothing behind that head anymore that's giving it that solid structure. You need to rely on the handles, which means your way that you hold may be different to someone else's. So obviously when I need to grip harder, I can still do so. And there's no strain on my forearm or my elbow or my shoulder. I don't have any problems with my wrist. You know, I'm always trying to catch it with the perfect timing, as I'm sure a lot of you guys are out there too. But that was the one thing that definitely stood out, and my review and my rating for this paddle right here is going to be a 10 out of 10. Purely for the reason of the fact that the way they've designed this paddle itself allows me to do exactly what I need to do as a coach, and I have no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I have no cons about the paddle. I can't say they could have done it any better or added anything onto it. I'm very comfortable holding it from the grip, from the design. The durability of this paddle is going to last a very, very long time. And more so, it's a premium pad. As I just said at the start, the stitching is basically just glued onto the pad itself, and it makes for a nice clean cut shape and feel. Now the price of this is 65 USD. Due to the currency exchange, because we are in Australia, it was just under 100, which for a product of this premium range, I would say that is very, very good. Purchasing from another country, you'll have to check the currency conversion rate, but I still feel that this is one of the best paddles to be on the market at the moment for that cost and for what you're getting. Okay guys, so any other questions, please pop a comment down below or PM me yourself. Other than that guys, I am the pad technician, and please check out Ultimatum Boxing's website.